أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والفجر وليال عشر والشفع والوتر والليل إذا يسر هل في ذلك قسم لذي حجر ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بعاد إرم ذات العماد التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد وفرعون ذي الأوتاد الذين طغوا في البلاد فأكثروا فيها الفساد فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب إن ربك لبالمرصاد فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما وتحبون المال حبا جما كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر الإنسان وأنى له الذكرى وأنى له الذكرى يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي فيومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد ولا يوثق وثاقه أحد يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي. صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أحسنت الله إليك. يا سورة الفجر.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك وأتوجه إليك بنبيك نبي الرحمة محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله، يا إمام الرحمة، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا قرة عين الرسول يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيحة عند الله اشفعي لنا عند الله. يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباقر يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا موسى بن جعفر أيها الكاظم يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا
يا وجيها عند الله
اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الحادي النقي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيحا عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي الأسكاني يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا
يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله
يا وسي الحسن والخلف الحجة أيها القائم المنتظر المهدي ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا
يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله
يا سادتي وموالي إني توجهت بكم أئمتي وعدتي ليوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله وتوسلت بكم إلى الله واستشفعت بكم إلى الله فاشفعوا لي عند الله واستنقذوني من ذنوبي عند الله فإنكم وسيلتي إلى الله وبحبكم وبقربكم أرجو نجاة من الله فكونوا عند الله رجائي يا سادتي يا أولياء الله صلى الله عليهم أجمعين ولعن الله أعداء الله ظالميهم من الأولين والآخرين آمين رب العالمين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أحسنتم أحسنتم ما شاء الله.
Inshallah, we'll start the Aza program. Tonight is the Shahadat of our 11th Imam, Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. We send our condolences to the Imam of our time on the Shahadat of his father. Please recite a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I'd like to request Brother Haider to come and recite poetry with salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
صلو علی محمد و آل محمد. میری آواز سے نہیں ہے لیکن چونکہ ذاکری میری نوکری ہے ایک قطع پیش کرنا چاہ رہا تھا بارگاہ میں جناب سیدہ کی بارگاہ میں تم پڑھیے گا محمد آل محمد. پہلے یہ مان لے کہ ہیں مشکل پہلے یہ مان لے کہ ہیں مشکل کشالی پھر دیکھ تیرے واسطے کرتے ہیں کیا پھر دیکھ تیرے واسطے کرتے ہیں کیا اور ٹل جاتی ہیں ہماری تو ساری مصیبتیں ٹل جاتی ہیں ہماری تو ساری مصیبتیں ہم جب کبھی خلوص سے کہتے ہیں یا علی پہلے یہ مان لے کہ ہیں درود پڑھیے محمد آل محمد احسن طيب الله
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
اے شہید و جہاں خدا حافظ اے شہید و جہاں خدا حافظ اے محمد کی جان خدا حافظ ہم شبیہ نبی حسین کے لال اکبر نوجوان خدا حافظ اکبر نوجوان خدا حافظ اے شہیدی کے تشنہ لب یارو اصغر بے زبان خدا حافظ اصغر بے زبان خدا حافظ پھیرنے والے خشک ہونٹوں پر اپنی سوکھی زبان خدا حافظ اپنی سوکھی زبان خدا حافظ پائمالے غم و عالم قاسم جاؤ شبر کی جان خدا حافظ جاؤ شبر کی جان خدا حافظ اے علمدار فوج اے عباس اے علی کے نشان خدا حافظ اے علی کے نشان خدا حافظ ہو چکی آج ختم مہمانی شیعوں کے مہمان خدا حافظ شیعوں کے مہمان خدا حافظ اے شہید و جہاں سلوات سلوات اے سوگوارو آہوب کا مقام ہے اب رخصت حسین علیہ السلام ہے مہماں تمہارا جاتا ہے جو تشنہ کام ہے سر پیٹو خاک اڑاؤ کے ماتم تمام سر پیٹو خاک اڑاؤ کے ماتم تمام ہے اب وہ صدائے ہائے حسین نہ آئے گی گھر میں تمہارے فاطمہ زہرا نہ گھر میں تمہارے فاطمہ زہرا نہ آئے گی اے شاہ کربلا تیری خدمت نہ ہو سکی، اے کشتہ جفا تیری خدمت نہ ہو سکی، اے جان فاطمہ تیری خدمت نہ ہو سکی، مہمان نینوا تیری خدمت نہ ہو، مہمان نینوا تیری خدمت نہ ہو سکی، جی بھر کے رو سکے نا یہ گردش نصیب کی، مجلس یہ آخری ہے حسین غریب، مجلس یہ آخری ہے حسین غریب کی، اگلے برس حسین محرم میں آئیں گے، باقی رہی حیات تو یہ غم منائیں گے، اور فاطمہ کے لال پر آنسو بہائیں گے، گھر مر گئے تو قبر میں ہم خاک اڑا، گھر مر گئے تو قبر میں ہم خاک اڑائیں گے، تیار قافلہ ہے شہ مشرقین کا، لو کربلا کو جاتا ہے کنبہ حسین، لو کربلا کو جاتا ہے کنبہ حسین کا، لو الوداع ہوتا ہے رخصت یہ تشنہ کام، تم رو رہے ہو ماہ محرم سے صبح و شام، کوثر پہ اپنے ہاتھ سے دوں گا میں بھر کے جام، رخصت حسین ہوتا ہے تم پر میرا، رخصت حسین ہوتا ہے تم پر میرا سلام، دونوں جہاں میں خوش رہو اور شاد تم رہو، اماں دعائیں دیتی ہے آباد تم، اماں دعائیں دیتی ہے آباد تم رہو، اے تشنہ کام و بے کسو ناکام الوداع، اے مبتلا حسرت و آلام الوداع، اے بے کفن علی کے گل اندام الوداع، مذبوح تیغ شمر بدم جامل، مذبوح تیغ شمر بدن جامل الوداع، مظلومیت پہ آپ کی جان اپنی کھوئیں گے، جب تک ہے زندہ آپ کے ماتم میں رو، جب تک ہے زندہ آپ کے ماتم میں روئیں گے، اے شاہ کربلائے وہ اللہ سلام لو، ہم بے کسوں کے والیو مولا سلام لو، آقا سلام لو، شہ والا سلام لو، اے فاطمہ کے چاند ہمارا سلام، اے فاطمہ کے چاند ہمارا سلام لو، رخصت یہ آخری ہے دل افگار آئے ہیں، مولا سلام لو یہ عزادار آئے، مولا سلام لو یہ عزادار آئے ہیں،
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ما شاء الله. Can you ask him if he needs a point? What? Can you ask him if he wants a point? Does he have a point?
Yeah, that's why he wants a PowerPoint.
Huh?
What's this PowerPoint?
No, does he need a pointer?
No, yes.
He doesn't?
صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Variable mic there. Number one.
محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى الله على سيدنا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبو القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
So I've been giving very short time and I'll try to cover these topics as much as possible. Basically, I will highlight them because we don't have the time to discuss them with the time given. And if sometimes still if I went fast enough, which we are already late, then I'll also try to discuss and say a few sentences about why we have Alam, Tabut, Taziya, Zuljalal. What is the significance of this? Is this just a cultural thing or we have some religious significance about that? If time permits. Otherwise, we'll just stick to what we have right now.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
One more time, Sallallahu Alaihi Nabi.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
So, few sentences about Imam and few sentences about saying farewell to Imam Hussain. Otherwise, usually we're not supposed to say farewell. All Kullu Ardin Karbala, Kullu Yawmin Ashura. And few sentences about 11th Imam and the demise of 11th Imam, Musiba, 11th Imam. So, when it comes to Imama, just few sentences to understand how we link Imama, why is it necessary? Why do we need it? Every creation, if you look around, every creation, from honeybee all the way to big animals, the hardware is there and the software is there. In our language, the body is there and the software to run that body is there. How to function that body properly. I used to work once in an electronic firm and we used to have pick and place machines to populate so-called circuits. And with that, every time we had a machine, it came with a manual. What you should do, what you should not do. If you did this, it will break. If you'll do this, it will function properly. So this goes with all the creations. But this is where is one few difference. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. we have created human being in the best of make. What is that supposed to mean? How is it different with other creations? There's one key difference, and it's going to take another whole hour lecture to actually explain what a human being is. How do we know that we are made out of this earth? How do we know we have a spirit, for example? That's a different topic. But to look at it for a few seconds, two things very important. We have aql, intellect, and we have choices that we have to make. These two things are so important. That is why we need a type of guidance that the other creations don't need. Right? So honeybee also gets wahi, also get guidance, but it's a particular guidance. It's different than our guidance. Honeybee doesn't have any choice. They pick flower, they pick juices to make honey, that's the end. But human beings come in this world as a potential human being. What do I mean by that? A potential. We come in complete. Our hands, face, eyes, ears. But not all of us leave this world as a human being. There's a difference between completion and perfection. All our lives we spend to attain perfection. Perfection not in the Western sense that we use the word perfection, but to get nearness, closeness to Allah. So let me give you an example, for example. Fourth Imam, Imam Zainul Abidin, he was going to Hajj with a companion, and the companion looked at, when they approached Makkah, the companion looked at, mashallah, Imam, look at how many people. Huge crowd. Imam said, they're not all human beings. Look at the fingers, you will see. Only few human beings you can count on the finger. Big crowd. How do we understand that in our own language? Let me give you another simple example. Not all of us leave this world as a human being. What do I mean by that? It's very important to understand. A snake, for example. If we take a small baby snake and we make it like a pet, I recommend you not do that. Make a pet that the snake grows up. One of the natures of a snake is it bites. And it bites to whom? The one closest to it first. So even if you made it grow up, when it's going to bite, it's not going to bite over there. First it's going to bite the person who actually... So if a human being is acting like a snake, the first time he's going to or she's going to hurt is the one closest to it first. Parents, husbands, wives, kids, so on, so neighbors. So this is what we say, we have the nafs, and in those day of judgment, also we will be raised in the nafs that we carried and we made in this world. So we look like a human being, but our inner self is really not really what it is. So attaining perfection means getting rid of that and getting close to Allah. So that, given that in a sense, human beings, not like honeybees, they not only just look at their habitat, they look beyond it. And the capacity given to human being, we don't even know it yet completely. We question a lot of things, and we get confused by a lot of things, the peer pressure, media, environment that we live in. It affects us, right? And sometimes changes our opinion about things, positively or negatively, as a human being. You cannot do that. You cannot do that to eagle. Eagle, for example, can they say, well, I'm being tired of being eagle. I'm going to take a weekend off and I'm going to be butterfly for 2 days. You can't do that. So we have this capacity. Why we have aql? We have choice. And aql, sometimes people say, you didn't use your intelligence and intellect, your aql, you didn't use that. You could have done it. No. Even using aql is not enough. That aql has to be guided by the revelation. Everybody uses intelligence in this world, right? We make tools to destroy a human being. We make tools with the same aql to destroy our own habitat. Look what's going on in environmental crisis right now, for example. So long story. So because of this human nature, we demand, we command. The Creator's responsibility is to provide us the guidance that we need. Our hardware needs that kind. What is that? He sends, we need education and training. A particular kind of education and training. Okay. So he sends the prophets, 124,000 of them. And they are the mercy. He also sends the book, education and training, which is also mercy. Manual for human guidance and how to do and act properly and live in this world, because the responsibility of the Creator to give us the manual how to do what is right, what is wrong for us, what we can do, cannot do to avoid disasters. That's why we have prophets. Because it demands the way it was made, the way human beings are made, it demands that. Who makes that choice? The company who makes the robot also gives the manual. We just can't just come up with our own stuff. It's a long argument. So imams and the guides are chosen by the one who actually created us. Why? Because they're supposed to be role models. Right? They're supposed to tell us what to do. If they're making mistakes themselves, then there's no point of guiding us. Now, this very important thing, both Quran and Sunnah. By the way, we say Sunnah, Sunnah, Sunnah. Right after Prophet, you are not allowed to actually talk about Sunnah. You're not allowed to relate Hadith. It was prohibited for you to say any Hadith. You were punished for that. And there's another topic why that was. So Sunnah, in Quran and Sunnah both, it is explicitly clear who's supposed to be the guide. For example, I quoted few verses here. Just like do's and don'ts. This is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're not supposed to do. Do not obey disbelievers and hypocrites. That's number one. Do not obey those who reject the truth. This is Quran. Do not obey anyone whose heart we allowed to neglect our remembrance and who follow his own personal whims and desires. And I'll conclude, very important thing. Do not obey the one who does not obey us and is sinner and ungrateful one. Do not obey the extravagant. Do not obey the one who is taking oath today with somebody else, tomorrow with somebody else, third day with somebody else. This is Quran. Do not obey. All these are a list of do not do that. Do not follow these guys. Okay, well, if you closely look at Muslim history and analyze all these dynasties and look at this according to this Quranic verses. I'm not talking about Sunnah right now. And just look at the litmus test. It's okay, who fits in it? You will reject almost all of them. Ya Allah, the rulers, the guides, the caliphs, none of them pass this. So who should we do? Who does not have all these things? Well, yes, there is. إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. So the concept of imama, why we need it, very extremely briefly, moving forward. And then again, many different ahadith of Prophet pinpointing exactly who the Ahlul Bayt are. It's not the wife of Prophet. And it's very clear in all the books of Ahlul Sunnah. The responsibility, they carry the inheritance, they inherit all the things that was carried by all the prophets. The responsibility is different. Why we are asked to love the Ahlul Bayt is because if we love them, we follow them. We get close to them, and get close to them, then we hopefully will not make a mistake, we'll follow their footsteps. And Prophet is not the only one who actually pinpointed his family. The other prophets before them in Quran, according to Quran, whose families were chosen for the people to guide. We are not the only one. Not only that, you also find in Bible. Okay, Prophet Ibrahim was asked and told that we have chosen Ishmael, and he will beget 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. This is Bible. 12 princes. 12 caliphs. Sahih Muslim. And so the idea is that Prophet, Quran, everybody, all these the tools of and techniques or everything that was given to us is for guidance as a human being, cleared and very clear who should we follow, why should we follow, and who should we avoid. That's imama. Responsibilities of imama. One of the key responsibility of imama is to make sure that what Prophet delivered, it remains the same. Especially the last prophet, and there's no prophet, no book afterwards. And there's not going to be any more prophet, any more guide who will receive the revelation. So till the day of judgment. So Allah also made sure that it preserves the same and without change. Because if you see what happens, if you look at the day Prophet left this world till the beginning of the bigger occultation, Wafat al-Kubra, it's roughly 320 years. If you look at the history of the other religions, in 320 years they were destroyed. A lot of things came in, they were not the same anymore. So imamat, from the beginning for Imam Ali, all the way to end of Ghaibat al-Sughra, roughly 320 years. And in that, every imam made sure that nothing changes afterwards. And if you look at I'll mention a few more things regarding that. One of the key, very important, very interesting things we may not realize, that 4 fuqaha that came, for example, Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali, and 6 books from Bukhari to Ibn Majah. And all these 4 people and of course 6 people who wrote the book of Hadith, they were in that period, starting from 6th Imam till the end of the shorter occultation, the Ghaibat al-Sughra. Within that period. After that begins the bigger, or the Ghaibat al-Kubra. What is that? Is it any significant? Why the Imams waited? And the presence of Imam was important. Although they were in confinement, imprisonment, they were not allowed to interact with public, but their impact was immense. For example, 4th Imam again, all the Imams like that. Whenever they came out, and for example, when you have Imam, 4th Imam going to Hajj, and people parted, like it says that water parted for Moses. People knew, they respected who they were. In each Imam in the same way. So whenever they came out and whenever they interacted with people, immense respect. And they made sure, time and again, that nothing goes wrong with Quran, with Islam. At least it remains the same what Prophet did. That was the key reason why we have Imam. So this is one of the things I pointed out. I needed to point out that 6 books and 4 fuqaha came within that period, starting from 6th Imam to the end of Ghaibat al-Sughra. Now Imam Hussein minni wa ana min Hussein, Prophet's famous saying, we understand Hussein is from me. Of course, he's the grandson of the Prophet. According to Quran, he's son of Prophet. But I am from Hussein, what is that supposed to mean? Means that everything that Prophet stood for, Imam Hussein saved it. If it wasn't for Imam Hussein, you wouldn't have the religion today what we have. Everything, the Quran, the Sunnah, everything that Prophet not only stood for, but did, and struggled for 23 years as a prophet. A parent prophet. It was Imam Hussein who saved it. So Prophet is from Imam Hussein. That's what it's supposed to mean. And they tried to hide. They tried to cover it up. When they massacred in Karbala, they tried to cover it up. And we can see in our example, our time too. So during Saddam's time, if you see how many people went for Arba'in. What was the situation during Saddam's time? And you see today. The same thing. Imam comes out and he is allowed to interact with public. See what happens. So when they were allowed to go, now people say why we cry. Well, first, eyes that shed tears were the eyes of Prophet himself. We don't cry because, of course, it's a sunnah of Prophet. We don't do it because it's sunnah of Prophet. We do it because we love Imam Hussain. What happened to Imam Hussain? So, but just for the sake of argument. And all these narrations, by the way, about Imam Hussain that we recite in our majalis is mentioned in the books of Ahl al-Sunnah. And related by Ibn Abbas, Salma, all these things when Imam Hussain was a baby, he was sleeping on the chest of the Prophet. Jibreel came, gave him the sand in the bottle. That sand turned red on the day of Ashura. All these things is mentioned in ahadith, books of ahadith and history from the books of Ahl Sunnah. So he left. The key reason Imam Hussain stood up to save Islam. This is his word. I don't like to read off the slide, but I would like to read this one. O Governor, when he was governor of Medina, when he faced, O Governor, we are the people of house of the Prophet, the source of the message, the place which angel frequented and the descending place of mercy. Through us, God started his religion, and through us, he will seal it. Yazid is a sinner who drinks wine, kills people unlawfully, and commits sin openly. So my type cannot pledge allegiance to his type. That was the decision of Imam Hussain. I stood up to save the nation of my grandfather, Ummah. Islah fi ummatin jaddi Rasulullah. One key thing also I would like to point out is that if you look at Imams or the Imama saves a lot of things. After they killed Imam Hussain in Karbala, they attacked Medina. After Medina, they attacked Kaaba. So first Imam, then Nabuwa, then Tawheed. Imam, so long he was there, it was saved. Attack on him means attack on all of them. It shows you the safety that is created because of Imams. Just to show you that Ibn Sa'd tried to cover, see what is happening today. And brothers and sisters, especially our school of Ahlul Bayt, we are the only one who has answer for the terror and terrorism. We are the only one who can say with pride, with dignity, that we are the one not only suffering terrorism. How should I do it in my regular life? How should I follow Imam Hussain? Whether it's Muharram or not Muharram, for big, old, young. I ask myself anything I need to do. I ask, well, would Imam Hussain do that? If the answer is yes, go ahead and do it. But if your heart tells you that no, Imam Hussain would not do this, then please stop. Whether you live in the United States or in Pakistan, India, anywhere else. This is the key. If you want to follow Imam Hussain, this is what you should do. Hal min nasirin nas yansuruna still is, we can still see that. One of the key things that is really important for us to know that we are throwing our kids in fire, especially in this country, and then we complain about the kids just being burned. This is the saying of 6th Imam. Is to take action in teaching tradition of Ahlul Bayt to your children before the corrupted person precedes in corrupting them. There's a slide, I didn't bring that slide, of Teachers National Association. It says, let them come, we got their kids. Even in Canada, all these migrants, asylum seekers, they're coming. Let them come, we got their kids. In two generation, you won't be going to mosque anymore. It's a different mindset. So I would, if you want to follow Imam Hussain, make sure that generation after generation we come to Imam Baragah and Majalis. And there's a reason and we need to put effort in it. Mahol, of course, A long time ago, I read a magazine about physical makeup of human being, genetics, genetic science. It says 25% of human being genetic information comes from mother side, 25% comes from the father side. What about the rest of the 50%? It comes from the environment. So even if you have good genetics, if you throw them in the wrong environment, you're not going to get the good fruit. So providing mahal for the kids is essentially important. And sometimes we think that, okay, kids are young, kindergarten, first grade, we'll put them in Islamic school, give them something when they grow up. No. There was a book published a long time ago, or 20 years ago, I think. And it says that what I need to learn about life, I learned in kindergarten. That impact that has of the culture, the society, the ideology. One father came to me in New York, he says, my child, mashallah, math 97, science 96, is going great in public school. You wanted him to go to Islamic school? I said, listen, brother, no offense, but if that child is memorizing every day that his grandparents were monkeys, he came from monkeys, and if he's getting 97, then guess what you're doing to your kid? So we have to think, we have to rethink, reorient ourselves of what we're doing for the next generation. This is a key example. We learn when we see it, especially children. Whatever they see, they copy it. If whatever you show them, they will copy it. And it has impact on their life, especially from the early age onwards. So the message of Imam Hussain, Imama, and a few words about 11th Imam. Please say salawat first. His childhood, he was only 28 years old when he was poisoned by Mu'tamid, Abbasid Caliph. Only 28. And most of his life he lived in the same house with his father, Imam Ali al-Naqi al-Hadi And this is the same house in Samarra today that they have their mausoleum. So they're buried in the same house. Today is a mausoleum in Samarra. Why was he called Askari? All of us know that, right? It comes from the word Askar, that means in Arabic army. So it was a garrison, the town, the garrison Askar. So he was called Askari. But there's another story about the Caliph, Abbasid Caliph. He was sitting, he was showing off. He called Imam Hassan al-Askari. He was very beautiful, by the way. His personality, what they said, was extremely beautiful. And he was sitting next to Caliph, and Caliph actually was having the march of the army in front of him. So Imam was keep watching this, and then after that he said, see between these two fingers. That Caliph saw a bigger army, larger army, more equipped army of Imam walking again. So then he called Imam Hussain Askari. That's another version of it. You could have 2-3 versions of it. And even the confinement of within this house that Imam lived in with his father, he did do tafsir, educated the students. Al-Ishaq al-Qindi answered his questions when he was writing against Quran. And Abu Ali Hassan ibn Khalid, that was one of his students. Imam actually dictated the tafsir of Quran to this. And sometimes you see a lot of I have mentioned Jabir ibn Hayyan, Imam, 6 Imams. A lot of these students actually printed the book in their own name, but actually was taught by Imams. Imam did not put their name in because of the political situations, but a lot of these students actually wrote the book, dictated or taught by Imam themselves word to word. One of the sayings of Imam Hassan al-Askari, whoever does good deed for the sake of the hereafter, Allah will amend for him his affairs in this world. One of the key things that I like to usually point out, and it is good for us as a Shia community and the school of Ahlul Bayt to know about 11th Imam. He was married to Narjis Khatun, we all know that. And Narjis Khatun was the princess of Byzantine Empire. Just like the mother of fourth Imam was the princess of Persia. Byzantium, the eastern part of Roman Empire. The daughter of a king, the granddaughter of a king. And I'm not going to go in the story of how she came in, but she did have two dreams, actually many dreams. First dream she had that she saw Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I have put the picture of Simon, is one of the disciples of Prophet Jesus. So she saw Prophet Jesus in her dream, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with all the descendants, that means with all the Imams. And she saw that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is asking the hand from Jesus, the daughter of Simon, descendant of Simon. So Prophet Jesus asked Simon, he says, what better could you have? And so that was the first dream. Then she saw Bibi Sayyidah and Bibi Maryam, who were asking, actually, in her dream, she recited kalama because of these two babies. And it says, this is how she proceeded from Byzantium to the house of 10th Imam. And she got married to Imam Hassan al-Askari, and we have Imam, 12th Imam for the... So, and one of the key things that we should always remember when we don't like to debate, we discuss with the Christian community, is there's the common ground. Why do you think only Jesus is coming? When the Imam, 12th Imam is coming, Jesus will come. Why not other prophet? If you look at the population today, there are two largest religions, Christianity and Islam. And Islam is supposed to surpass in a few years, goes beyond Christianity. So of course then that makes sense. The two largest religion of the population, how much you follow, that's not the question. But the largest population is Christianity and Islam. Jesus will come, and guess who else? 12th Imam. He has already connection with what? Christianity through his mother, Prince. So we have the common ground. A lot of other schools of thought, they don't know. They say, well, okay, 12th Imam will born sometime and Allah knows when. But we have the clear genealogy of where he came from, who the mother was, who the parents of that mother was, who was the grandparents, and what are the genealogy of the father. So we have everything complete, and it makes sense. And some of the Sunni books actually mention the names of 12th Imam, all the Imams. Not only just Prophet said 12 Khulafa, but also the names are mentioned. So now, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. Sahih Bukhari, Muhammad Bukhari died a few years before Imam Hassan al-Askari. Muslim died a few years after Imam Hassan al-Askari. All these Imams were interactive. Plus, if you look at it's not only the 4 fuqaha and the 6 books of Ahl al-Sunnah, but our own. If you see Kulayni, Saduq, you have Mufid, and the two famous students of Mufid, Sharif al-Radi, Sharif al-Murtada, and then Tusi. Sharif Radi and Sharif Murtada died in the lifetime of Mufid. And Mufid was born right around when the bigger occultation began. It was only Kulayni, the writer of Kafi, who actually was present during the time of Ghaibatul Sughra. And he died before the Ghaibatul Sughra was over. So he was there. He was not the connector of the 4 representative of 12th Imam, but yes. And then of course, Mufid, and then you have Saduq. So what I'm trying to say is that connection, that 4 representative of Imams were over. Yet the connection, they were trained in Shia tradition before Imam actually went in bigger occultation. That connection never broke in our own tradition. So we have fuqaha, we have ulama, from the time of minor occultation up until today. So those, say salawat, please.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
And then, so key things that Imam actually emphasized, basically most of them were the teachings and the sciences. Last few words that, okay, when 11th Imam was poisoned by Mu'tamid, and they were looking for a still who was going to represent, who is going to be the next, who is Mahdi afterwards. And actually, the Caliph himself came to the funeral in the house, the funeral of 11th Imam. He was there. He poisoned it, but then he also came in the funeral of it. And so Ja'far, the brother of Imam Hassan al-Askari, came and stood to offer funeral prayers for 11th Imam. Then they saw that a little 5-year-old boy came out from the house, and he pulled the mantle of his uncle. He says, "Uncle, step aside. Only Imam will recite the funeral prayers of an Imam." He recited the funeral prayers and right away went inside the house, never to be seen again. Mu'tabid went after him, but couldn't find him again. So at least the 4th Imam must have felt he could not give him kafan, he could not give him. He saw his body laying down, beheaded, mutilated, finger cut off because they wanted to take the ring off of him. And then sister, this son could not see the father, could not get to them, could not hug him. And when 4th Imam was actually leaving this world and 5th Imam hugged him, he says, "Don't put me on the floor. I remember what happened to my father. I couldn't bear this, to die on the bed." So this is the musibah of 12th Imam and 4th Imam's musibah. 12th Imam still cries for the Abu Abdullah. He comes to Majalis. He is seen. And last thing, brother, I want to mention for the sake of all of us, and this is a true story in our lifetime. Masaib is over. I just want to relate one story for you. That is, how do we know? Is 12th Imam answering, responding to us today? How do we know that? This happened, and I know this person very well, in Karachi. This is not a mujtahid, this is not a Maulana. By the way, please don't call everybody Maulana. Maulana is a combination of two words, Maula Ana, my Maula. So Fazlur Rahman or anybody else, don't call them Maulana, my Maula, please. So he was not a Maulana, Mujtahid or Ayatullah, anybody. He's just a regular guy going to work in pants and shirt. He was standing on a bus stop. He usually used to come by his van in Karachi, a place called Gulshan-e-Iqbal. And he was standing to get on the bus. He saw at the distance somebody coming, a very tall person. He looked around, he didn't pay attention. That person came really quick and stood next by him. Very tall fellow, he looked at him and says, "This doesn't look like a Pakistani face." Very tall, and he had a chadar on his head, full beard. And then he says, "Is it," something crossed his mind, is it really, am I? He's thinking inside. But then what this guy was doing, this person, that as when you jog and it comes to the street light, and then you don't want to stop, so you just keep moving your leg. This is what this person was doing, keep moving his leg, because he, I think, was on walking street. So this person is arguing, he's debating with himself. He says, "No, he couldn't be. Imam wouldn't do this, something so abrupt." But then he's still thinking. At the same time, while he's thinking, the light turned green. This man went off, and then he disappeared in the street in mosque or somewhere else. And this fellow, he's saying, "What in the world is wrong with me? Why didn't I just ask him his name? I could have just asked him, 'What's your name, sir? You look familiar, or at least I might know somebody.'" He didn't. His bus came. He got on the bus. He went home. Usually he used to go home, wash his and change his clothes, ate. This time he didn't do anything. He was so heavy and regretful that why I didn't ask his name, the name of this man. So he just laid down, he just pulled his shoes off and he just laid down on the bed. And right away his eyes went sleepy. This is as in our lifetime, brothers and sisters. He fell asleep. While he was falling asleep, he said, "Oh Imam, connection, I'm showing you the connection." He says, "Oh Imam, if that was you, and if I missed you, please let me know." He fell asleep. For a few minutes, he saw 12th Imam with a very different face. He was sitting on the floor, very different face, and right away he fell. Imam didn't say anything. This man woke up. Now you tell me, brother, 6 billion, 7 billion people, at that time maybe 6 billion. How this one person's inner self, voice from inner being, it was not in dua, it was longing, calling for Imam. How among 6 billion people, one man standing in the street of Karachi was heard by Imam? And how Imam responded right away. He came, he showed his face, "That was not me. Don't worry about that." And that's the end of the story. He never saw the Imam again. But at least what my point is, that when you have a connection, when you stay away from sins, anything you're not, Islam is very simple. Don't do what you're not supposed to do what you're supposed to do. That's it. That's Islam. If you do that, and you're sincere towards Imam, you get help, you get connection, you get heard, everything is done. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. محترم حسین.
Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein,
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Salawatu salam آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، ہم دیتے ہیں پرسا تمہیں عباس جری کا، ہم دیتے ہیں پرسا تمہیں عباس جری کا، اور اکبر دلگیر کا یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، زینب کے پسر آن و محمد کا بھی پرسا، زینب کے پسر آن و محمد کا بھی پرسا، اور اصغر بشیر کا یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، پامال کیا قاسم بے کس کی لاش کو، پامال کیا قاسم بے کس کی لاش کو، کبریٰ کو بھی بیوہ کیا یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، عباس جو لشکر کے تھے سرور کے علمدار، عباس جو لشکر کے تھے سرور کے علمدار، دریا پہ اسے قتل کیا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پہ یا فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، کانوں سے سکینہ کے اتارے گئے گوہر، کانوں سے سکینہ کے اتارے گئے گوہر، ज़ैनब की बिछीनी है रिदा फातिमा ज़हरा, सलवातो सलाम आप पे या फातिमा ज़हरा, सलवातो सलाम आप पे या फातिमा ज़हरा। हम आए हैं पुरसे के लिए फातिमा ज़हरा, बेड़ी पिनाई दोहरी बदन जख्मी कर दिया, बेड़ी पिनाई दोहरी बदन जख्मी कर दिया। सज्जाद पे ये जुल्म किया फातिमा ज़हरा, सलवातो सलाम आप पे या फातिमा ज़हरा, सलवातो सलाम आप पे या फातिमा ज़हरा। हम आए हैं पुरसे के लिए फातिमा ज़हरा, हम आए हैं पुरसे के लिए फातिमा ज़हरा, हम आए हैं पुरसे के लिए फातिमा ज़हरा। या हुसैन
ज़ियारत ज़ियारत
توجه زيارة إن شاء الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أزور سيدي ومولاي معتمدي في آخرتي ودنياي مولاي أبي محمد حسن العسكري عليه السلام قربة إلى الله تعالى. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا أبا محمد الحسن بن علي الهادي المهتدي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا ولي الله وابن أوليائه. السلام عليك يا حجة الله وابن حججه. السلام عليك يا صفي الله وابن أصفيائه. السلام عليك يا خليفة الله وابن خلفائه وأبا خليفته. السلام عليك يا ابن خاتم النبيين. السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا ابن الأئمة الهاديين. السلام عليك يا ابن الأوصياء الراشدين. السلام عليك يا عصمة المتقين. السلام عليك يا إمام الفائزين. السلام عليك يا ركن المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا فرج الملهوفين. السلام عليك يا وارث الأنبياء المنتجبين. السلام عليك يا خازن علم وصي رسول الله. السلام عليك أيها الداعي بحكم الله. السلام عليك أيها الناطق بكتاب الله. السلام عليك يا حجة الحجج. السلام عليك يا هادي الأمم. السلام عليك يا ولي النعم. السلام عليك يا عيبة العلم. السلام عليك يا سفينة الحلم. السلام عليك يا أبا الإمام المنتظر الظاهرة للعاقل حجته والثابتة في اليقين معرفته، المحتجب عن أعين الظالمين والمغيب عن دولة الفاسقين، والمعيد ربنا به الإسلام جديدا بعد الانطماس والقرآن غضا بعد الاندراس. أشهد يا مولاي أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر ودعوت إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وعبدت الله مخلصا حتى أتاك اليقين. أسأل الله بالشأن الذي لكم عنده أن يتقبل زيارتي لكم ويشكر سعيي إليكم ويستجيب دعائي بكم ويجعلني من أنصار الحق وأتباعه وأشياعه ومواليه ومحبيه. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا. وإلى أرواح والدينا والد والدينا وأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات ومن مات على الإيمان، وإلى أرواح العلماء والفقهاء والشهداء خصوصا الشيخ علي أرسطو رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة قبلها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد.
It's highly recommended to perform 2 rakat prayer, then send thawab to Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam.